What's up? Hopefully I am not echoing. If I am, we'll find out if anyone gets on because we're gonna craft. We are going to craft. I'm just waiting for this video to download. Is it gonna download? We don't know. Okay. It's got a few seconds left. 40 seconds left. Ashlie Molstad, social media tips. Straight from the former top Beachbody coach herself. And more crafting. Let's see. Let me go over here. Alright. Hello, hello, Sky. We're almost ready. The video's almost... I'm so close to being ready. I know I streamed earlier, but I wanted to craft. And crafting's way more fun with y'all. Hello, Fizzlesticks. I zoomed in a little bit because... well, I pushed my thing closer to, you know, this. So we didn't have too much like rippling since this isn't like true. It's more like Bristol board. It's not watercolor paper, but it's smooth. Hello. Nothing. Well, I guess we could switch. I don't have anything fun at just Ashlie Molstad. I was just trying to download. Let me see if I can get her up here. It's a square. Alright. Let me add her. How do I do this? How did I do this last night? How could I have already forgotten? Kira, how are you feeling? The text should be popping up here any minute. Oh, my fingers are so big. Okay. Let's see. Add. Edit. Entire screen. Ching ching. This is so awkward. Square. None. I guess y'all want to have a color around it? I don't know. I don't know. Why is it a square? They uploaded it as a square onto YouTube. So if you want to craft with us, is it weird? Are we gonna line up? We're gonna line up so we can have. We're not gonna line up. I don't even know. Why isn't my widget working? Man. Okay. I'm gonna not show my fingers. I guess I have to. Oh my god. Alright. Alright.
Hi guys. One sec. I'm gonna slide on, see if that helps. Hi! Hey Fit and Funky fam! My name is Ashlie Molstad. I am just gonna jump right into this because I feel like I have kind of a lot that I want to talk to you guys about. I am a humongous fan of questions, so hopefully you guys have some for me. And I was going back and forth thinking about what should I talk to them about. Hi, Leppy! Hold on, let me open this.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kira.
So I was going back and forth thinking what should I talk to them about, and honestly I really struggled because I know, guys, look at, I put on makeup for you, I curled my hair, I did all kinds of things, because this is not normal. Hi Karen. So this lighting's better. I'm coming. Un momento, please. Okay. So I couldn't think about what I wanted to talk to you guys about because I have to be honest, I don't feel like, hi Blake, I'm excited for this too. I don't feel like I do anything super well or super different. And so I wasn't really sure. But I will say that the question that I get asked a lot by other coaches is how do I grow a social media following? And I thought, well, should I talk to Fit and Funky about, like, Team Fit and Funky about this? Because I feel like we're lucky that we have Danielle and we get a lot of training from her. But I do things differently, and we are all different. And so I thought maybe you could hear it from a different perspective. And I also want to give you a little fourth quarter kind of game plan motivation thing. So I said this in the very beginning, but some of you weren't on yet because I'm not a fan of when videos go live, people wait for an hour and just like dilly-dally around.
Same.
Like, get to it, okay? So I said this in the beginning and you guys weren't on yet, but I love questions, so please ask questions as they come up because I'm doing this for you, not for me. So I want to make sure I get all of your questions answered. So I'm going to go through and tell you my social media tips. But I want you to know that, like, Gary Vaynerchuk said this at Summit.
Oh,
and I
Gary.
just think it is so, so, so true. And he said it does not matter the number of followers that you have. It matters how many followers you have who care. So I think that we're all looking for how to get the most followers. And what we need to be looking at is how do we build the most loyal tribe? Because I can guarantee you, and I guarantee, because I have seen it and I know that this is true, that there are coaches out there who you have never heard of before because they're not doing anything with the coach business who have over 100,000 followers on their page. There are also coaches who are 15-star diamonds who maybe they're in the Millionaire Club. I know one specifically who she didn't make it to 15-star. She went to 15-star qualifying, Steph Davies. 15-star qualifying.
Oh, there's a corporate call tomorrow?
She has less than 2,000 followers on her like page because her tribe is loyal AF. So, and if you don't know what AF means, it means as fuck. So, if you have little kids watching, just know that I have a little bit of a potty mouth. Okay, so I feel like I want you to know, first off, that it is not about getting more followers. I mean, sure, that could mean that there's more eyes on your posts, but it's what you do with those followers. It's about creating a loyal tribe. So don't get hung up on how many followers you have, because I think that at the end of the day, that's an excuse that you're making for yourself for why you're not successful, is I don't have enough followers. You don't want followers. You want a tribe. You want a clan. You want, as Shalene calls them, lifers. So I'm going to dig into how I guess I've developed my lifers, my tribe. And I feel very, very connected and in love with my following. I feel super blessed. But I'm not doing anything special. I'm not doing anything that you haven't heard before, probably. So I also want to preface this by saying I can give you the tips, the things that work for me, but knowing doesn't make it happen.
Oh, Andrew.
Makes it happen. So if you want your following to grow, you have to do. There are no secrets in this business. There is a ton of social media training out there. So I'll give you my tips, but know that if you do nothing with these tips, it's not just like you become successful by osmosis. You have to actually put them into action. Action, work, that is where the magic happens. So tip number one, if you're taking notes, is you've got to provide value. We've heard this before millions of times, I'm sure. But you have to make sure that you're providing content that's interesting to people. When I put content up, it cannot just be the Ashlie show. I can't just say like that I
This
woke
is a
up
joke.
and I did laundry and now I'm eating breakfast and
That's
now
what she
I'm,
does
like,
now, though.
going to the store. That's just not interesting. So you are definitely wanting to share your life, but I think you need to
We're
provide
okay.
content and value. I think Snapchat is a great place to share those in between what you're doing moments, but on Instagram or your Facebook like page or your personal page,
Yep.
there has to be
I do
value
remember that.
behind 85% of your posts. There
Let
can
me-
be.
Yes, I did remember that, Kira. Are they gonna? Do you think they're gonna address that in the call? What is happening? is very opaque. There's a whole thread going on now, people complaining it's still happening even though Young Living fixed the problem. And they were talking about a bunch of them asking Andrew. That sounds juicy. But even if they fix the problem, you think that even if they fix the problem, do you think that Young Living is not going to reward their top performers with more orphan placements? Orphan meaning people who sign up for Young Living without a member number to attach to. This is bleeding a ton. Because it's oversaturated, DC. They've told the reps it happens accidentally, but a lot of them say their orphans got placed under a Royal Crown Diamond instead of them. I believe that 100%. I believe that 100%.
So whatever posts, but most of them do need to provide value. And so what I say is pick 3 to 5 things that make you you, that you're going to be an expert on. And it doesn't mean that you're an expert and that you've done a bunch of research and you know everything about this area. Like if you're a mom, you're an expert on being the kind of mom that you are to your kids. That doesn't make you like the expert in that you're going to write a book about it and tell every other parent how to parent. You are an expert the way that you parent and the way that you're a mom. So for me, some of those things include I'm a dog mom. I'm obsessed with my animals. So you see a lot of them on my page. I also really like drinking. That's a part of my brand. So you see that I drink on my page. I also like to live a life in balance. So you see a lot of me with my cheat meals and practicing self-love and working on, being fit while also having fun. I also am into beauty and fashion kind of stuff. Like I just made a post about these cute new scarves that I got. Hi, Nayeli. I made a post about that on Snapchat. And when I find beauty products, I share that. I've done, tutorials on how to do my hair, whatever. I'm an expert in those things. Am I the best at doing hair? Am I the best at doing makeup? Hell no. I don't get paid to do those things. That's not my job. It's just something I enjoy. So think about the things, 3 to 5 things that make you you. And if you struggle with what those things are, ask the people around you when they think of you, what do they think of? And guys, they can be anything. I am a fitness coach, a health and fitness coach, whose brand includes drinking. Like, it can be anything, okay? So, I want to give you and then you're going to post about those things. So, and those...
Sorry, no, I'm not doing this good
tonight. And those are
tonight.
not including Beachbody. So those are outside of Beachbody. And I want to give you an example of why this is important. Because, hi, thanks, Sandy. It's important because when you go on social media and you post, if all you post about is fitness, it's really kind of boring. That's very one-dimensional. So I want you to think about the wedding ring. Like if you were in the wedding ring business where you made and sold wedding rings. If you made a page only about your wedding rings, that's not that interesting and your reach is going to be probably pretty small. But if you made your page about all things wedding and you shared centerpiece ideas and bouquet ideas and bridesmaids ideas and wedding gown ideas and where you can get deals and all kinds of things, and you made yourself a wedding resource, then people trust you. So when you post about your wedding rings, they're more likely to invest with you, right? So when you think of your 3 to 5 things that make you you, you are an expert in those things. You're providing value. People are coming to your page. They're seeking you out. They trust you because when you recommended that amazing mascara or you did that hair tutorial, They loved it. They tried it. Worked for them. So then when you say, hey, this is the fitness thing I'm doing, would love to have you join me. They trust you. They're more likely to join you. So that's tip number 1, is you have to provide value. I had an amazing call today with one of my newer coaches, and she asked me a question about when you're a brand new coach, how do you, like, she's feeling overwhelmed with posting content. And so just a little asterisk to this provide value thing, I talked to her about this, but then I also said, I understand in the beginning it's super hard to come up with content. I feel like it's a muscle that you train, and it gets better and easier the longer you do it. So when I very first started coaching, I stressed out a lot about, oh my gosh, I have to post it. What's my next post going to be? I haven't posted in a couple hours. Oh crap. And then I'd be thinking about it and stressing about it. So I think it's going to get easier. It's a muscle that you train, just like anything. Now my whole day is content. I'm always thinking in terms of content. I'm taking pictures of everything. I don't always post everything, but I have it. Like, I took several pictures out yesterday that I haven't posted. Maybe I will in the future, because I had enough content already. So it's a muscle that you strengthen, so don't get overwhelmed with it. But to help you, in the beginning, I did schedule posts on my page. On Sunday night, I would schedule maybe 2 to 3 posts a day, knowing I was going to fill in with my stuff on the other day. So I would go on Pinterest, and then I would schedule a morning motivation post, an afternoon funny post, and an evening recipe post. That's what I did on my page. And then I would fill in with my workout, or if I was drinking a glass of wine at night, or me with the dogs, or whatever I was doing. So that took a lot of stress and pressure off of me during the week to make sure I had something coming up, because I do think it is very important. This is another one of my bullets later, that you're consistent and that you show up. So just, help yourself out, take some of that pressure off, and schedule some posts if you're new and you're struggling with coming up with content. But don't give up, because it does get easier. Okay, anyway, tip number 1, provide value. Tip number 2, this one's a biggie. Be authentic and speak to your tribe. I think so often we feel like, well, now we're a fitness coach and that's all we are. But you're not, because point number 1 is pick 3 to 5 things that you are outside of fitness. And that means you're not perfect. And that means that you're sometimes going to miss a workout, or you're sometimes going to fall off plan, or sometimes you're going to get way off plan and you're going to gain some weight back, or you're sometimes going to get in a crappy headspace, and that's okay, because you're a human being, and those things are allowed. Perfection is not required to be a successful coach. So I think be authentic and be you. And also, when I say that, when I first started, I did try to have a certain voice where I was talking to everybody, because I started as a very insecure person. The person that started coaching is not the person that is speaking to you today. The person today is very confident, but the person that started couldn't walk into a room of friends without feeling like they were going to judge me, let alone a live stream on Facebook of a bunch of people I've never met. So I tried to talk to everybody, because I didn't want to turn people off. But I think it is such a gift to get unlikes. I posted something yesterday or the day before, immediately 5 people unliked my page. And I just was like, rad. That's rad, because those people are not my tribe. And I hope that they do find the coach that works for them. But if they're going to be offended by one thing I say, they're not my tribe. They're not for me. And as soon as I started dropping F-bombs on my page and started posting more about drinking, I got some people that unfollowed me, because if they are all buttoned up and they're offended by an F-bomb, they definitely are not my tribe. But there are lots of coaches that will be their tribe. So I think, there's some growing pains in there. But the more authentic you can be, as soon as I started sharing about F-bombs and my drinking and my battle with depression, that's where you get your loyal people. That's where you get people that love you. If you've heard this, I'm sure you have, your vibe attracts your tribe. And the worst thing ever is to try to be somebody else, and then you attract wrong people.
Hey, Heather.
And then you show up and you meet in person, and you're like, we have nothing in common. We don't really like being around each other. How did this happen? And it's
That's
probably
literally
because
the
we're being
definition of an
authentic.
echo
My
chamber.
team, when we get together, we have a
You are correct, Kira. There's there's part truth in what she's saying. Show up in the type of person that you want to be. There's also part of it in saying if you continue to niche and niche and niche down, there's only people who believe the same way, or I don't know. Thanks, Heather. Yeah, and again, it sure is nice having nice people around you. Now, I will say, like, when the Snark crew and I, like, go live for Beachbody stuff, we don't agree about the same thing. We have a live chat and we go back and forth. And there's also been stuff where I was like, hey, I should have spoken up and I didn't agree with y'all on live, or they say the same thing. So, I don't know. I don't know, Fizzle6. I think she's trying. I think Ashley's trying to say, hey, I naturally cuss. And I'm going to stop hiding that fact. And I work in a relatively casual environment because I work from home and I'm an independent contractor. And that's meaningful. I mean, I cuss on my lives too. So, I don't know.
Freaking blast, and we love each other because we're all the same people. We're different, but all the same. So you need to be authentic and speak to your tribe. I think you compare it to a rice cracker, rice cake. There's no flavor. Those are boring. Like, I don't really love them. I don't really hate them. I don't really have an opinion. You want people to have an opinion about you one way or the other. So you don't want to be everybody's cup of tea. It is a gift that you get to be authentic. You get to be yourself. Be free being yourself and put yourself out there. And so I have, yes, okay, an asterisk to this point is if you are struggling also with coming up with content, follow coaches, follow other top coaches, and, gain inspiration from them. So I have a lot of screenshots in my phone from other coaches. And I gain, when I'm struggling with coming up with content, sometimes I'll go through there and think, what can I post about? I never copy. I never duplicate. I will use it as inspiration. But you want to follow the coaches that speak to you, that speak to your tribe. So for example, I don't follow Melanie Mitro. Melanie Mitro, if you guys don't know, she's the top coach in the company. She will be for probably 3 years. I mean, she has been for 2 years. Looks like she will be for this 3rd year. She is an amazing coach, has built an amazing business. And I watch her videos and trainings on YouTube, but I do not follow her because I don't get anything from her posts. She is a very conservative, buttoned up, polished, classy, amazing mom of 2.
I don't get anything from her post. Oh my God.
I wouldn't call myself buttoned up. I'm not polished. I am a little bit more of a free spirit. I'm not organized. I just kind of go with the flow, and my main priority in life is having fun, and I don't have kids. So I don't follow her because I don't get anything from her posts, but I follow coaches who are super fun. Like, I like following Andrea Crowder because she's rad, and she has kids, but she also drops the F-bomb, and she's also just real, and she drinks, and she's just my kind of person. I get a lot of inspiration from Chelsea Pearson. So I think it's important to follow the coaches that you connect with. So that way you're getting inspiration from the right people. Because if I were to screenshot Melanie's posts, I'm like, well, Melanie's clearly doing something right, and then I try to use those as inspiration and post about them, it's not going to feel authentic, and I'm going to attract the wrong people. Because I have no business talking to classy, buttoned up people that are moms, because that's not who I am. And there is a coach out there for those people, and it's Melanie or anyone else that's like Melanie. But then there's people like me out there. And if you exist, there are people like you. So I knew for me that if I existed where I want to be fit and I also want to drink and have burgers sometimes, that if I exist, other people existed like me. So embrace who you are, be authentic.
Apparently Melanie doesn't eat any burgers. Okay, got it.
Do not be a boring rice patty that nobody really cares about and has no opinion about. Unlikes are a gift because it gets you to dive or gets you to connect deeper with your tribe. Okay, so don't think width, think depth. That's point number 2. These are kind of long points, but that is be authentic and speak to your tribe. And to do that, it's really hard in the beginning because we care a lot what people think. Again, a super insecure person when this business started, and I cared a lot what people thought. So do personal development, continue to work on your brain and train your brain. And you really have to stop caring what people think. You have to stop trying to please everybody. That is boring. And I'm sure you guys know, like when you're around someone who is just fully wholly themselves, like it's magnetic. It doesn't matter who they are, what kind of person they are. I remember a couple years ago, like 5 years ago now, I met this girl. She had dreadlocks, total hippie, didn't shave her armpits, talked about how much she loved sex all the time. And I'm like, that's not me. I mean, I'm not a total hippie. I wash my hair, I shave. I'm not sleeping with everybody. But she was just like, that's me. That's who I am. And it was just refreshing to be around her because she didn't care what anyone thought. So just try to embrace that. I know how hard it is to do, but that's why you really need to be doing personal development so that you can continue to grow your mind and get comfortable with being who you are and putting that out there. Because life is so much more fun being who you are and not caring what people think. Oh, it's so freeing and super rad. Okay, point number 3 is be vulnerable.
Hi, Melissa.
So I think it's a lot easier to be vulnerable once you become authentic, but I think that I developed a lot of trust with people as soon as I shared some of the battles that have been in my past. And I didn't just dive off the deep end with this. I don't think you have to throw yourself off of a cliff, to get out of your comfort zone. I think you can tiptoe. I think you can tiptoe just a little bit, just push your boundaries a little bit. So when I first started talking, I just opened up a little bit about who I was. And then that felt comfortable, and I would do that for a while, so then I opened up a little bit more. And then I remember when I wanted to talk about my depression and my mental health issues, and I was really nervous to talk about depression, and I didn't say anything about suicide. And
Apologies, I didn't know she was going to talk about this.
And I got people to trust me with that, and I had more people coming to me saying, thank you for being open about that. Then I was able to talk about how I've, struggled with suicidal thoughts before. And the
apologies.
Women, with the miscarriage. Some people are very embarrassed or ashamed that they miscarried.
Ashlie, if you are new to Ashlie Molstad, she talks about everything. Apparently she brought up just everything. So apologies. God. I had my trigger warning all loaded up and I was like, it's just going to be her social media training. It's not.
I just think it's a fact of life. So when I miscarried, I just shared it and it felt healing. It was healing for me because I knew I was not alone. I could get something out there. I didn't have to be ashamed of something. And also, it was healing for me in that people would come to me and tell me how much it helped them. And so then I'm building trust. They're also coming to me, so I'm building relationships. And I'm healing myself and I'm helping people and I'm growing my business because now they trust me. You see? So whatever you have struggled with in your past, you need to share those things. You need to share your gremlins.
You don't have
one personal development person.
You can keep some stuff private.
Brown, and she talks about. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Gremlins, but
God, she doesn't feel very authentic to me. Yeah.
She talks about how gremlins cannot survive the light. So if you shine the light on them, they cannot survive the light. So those skeletons that are in your closet, those things that you're embarrassed of, those are the things that are unique to you, that your tribe is going to love you more for, that is going to make your tribe trust you more and feel more connected to you. And the more you shine the light on them, the less power they have over you, and they just don't exist anymore. So that's tip number 3 is be vulnerable. This
looks bad.
Builds trust. Okay, 1 second. I need a little blah blah. Jennifer, I'm going to answer your question at the end. Okay, tip number 4 is create engagement. And what I mean by that is, of course, you're posting compelling content. Of course, you're talking in your voice and you're being authentic and you're building trust and sharing your gremlins. But you are also asking things of your audience. So in the beginning, I did a lot more call to action where I would ask them
This
to
is not what I
or
learned.
comment or share my post. Because the more they do that, the more Facebook bumps up your...
This is old.
What is that called? Oh my God, I'm totally blanking. Whatever. It bumps up your profile and thinks, well, this person, they're engaging, so they want to see their stuff. So then they start showing your likes your stuff more. When those people then comment on it, it goes out into their friends' newsfeed that they are liking, commenting, and posting, and sharing your content. So I did very simple things in the beginning. Again, part of my thing is beauty. So I would say, hey guys, I'm in the market for a new mascara. What's your fave? Super easy thing for people to comment on. Algorithm. Yes, thank you, Leticia. It boosts your algorithm when you get engagement. So I would ask that.
That's
Another
not...
one was, I was like, I'm looking for a new blender. Which one? Or another idea that you can do is, I'm going out for date night tonight. Can't decide which shoe option, boot or wedge. And just quick people do that. Or I have to turn in this, if you guys see around the time that elite people have to turn in their elite photos, people ask online, which one should I use? And sometimes I do use their answers.
Sometimes I do.
What I should use or wear or whatever.
Again, I've said this before. They're just using your answers for engagement. They already know the right answer. Correct. Not everyone wants every part of their life online, and you don't need to. If you're trying to grow your social for your business, you don't need to share every part of your life or any part of your life.
But a lot of times I'm just doing it for engagement because it's asking people, it's getting
Sarah.
movement and engagement on your page. So that's just a super simple tip, but ask people, give them call to actions, ask them to like your post, ask them to share your post, ask them to comment, ask them questions, get them involved, get them used to talking to you. And that's going to boost your algorithm so that more people see your stuff. Number 5, you got to show up every single day.
No.
Every day. You no longer own your social media. This is a job. This is a job.
Here's it simplified. Instagram and Facebook and any other social platform want people to stay on the app. And so they will do whatever they can to get people to stay on the app. And so if there is content that increases user time on their app, they're going to show that content to other people. And if there's content about dogs that's keeping users on the app, they're going to send that specific dog content out to other people who like dog content. They're only looking for increased user time on the app. That's it. So if you have stories that people are immediately leaving the app for, their Instagram or whatever platform that you're on is going to say, we want people to stay on the app. And these stories are causing people to leave the app. We're not going to show these stories to anybody else because guess what? It's making people leave the app. It's also not Instagram suppressing your stuff or Facebook suppressing your stuff. That happens sometimes. Not as much as some people think, but that's literally it. It just wants people to stay on the app. That's it. Ugh, Ashlie.
And your job, you're never, that commercial where it's like this mom and she opens the door and she's like, I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm sick. I'm not going to be able to come into work tomorrow. And then she's telling it to her little kid in the crib. And they're like, there's no day off when you're a mom. There's no days off when you're a coach either. Leticia was in bed with a super crazy stomach bug yesterday, and she still was very present on social media.
Damn.
I know coaches who have gone through death, who have gone through miscarriages, who have gone through divorce, who have gone through all kinds of things, and they're still present on social media. So I think...
How is this training still alive on the internet? How did I find this training? No. Hey, Sherry.
It is super, super, super important that you post 3 times a day. 3 times a day. And again, I know it's a lot to ask in the beginning if you're a brand new coach because that's a lot of content, but schedule your posts to help you out and just fill in with the live stuff throughout the day. But you need to be present. You need to be consistent. You need people seeing your stuff, seeing that you're not going anywhere day after day after day. You are now the CEO of a $1 million business.
No,
and
you're
if
not.
you think that you are not, that is the quickest way to not be. So you
No, you're literally not. You're literally not.
And you also can't just complain on social media. Okay.
Still a shit show. Yes.
This political stuff. I I just don't feel like you can bitch about politics right now or anytime. There is enough negativity out there. People have enough crap in their own world. You need to be a ray of sunshine all the time. And that doesn't mean you can't have bad days, because there are bad days, and you're allowed, like Leticia, I'm going to give her as an example again yesterday. So she was sick with a crazy stomach bug, felt nauseous all day, and she didn't sit there and do like, woe is me, I feel miserable, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, because people have enough woe is me. She was like, I'm still getting up, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can because it makes me feel better. So she did a workout that she could and gave what she could. And when I'm in a bad mood or when my back was really injured, I didn't just sit there and say like, oh, my back's injured and I can't move and life sucks. Everyone already thinks their life sucks because they're not doing personal development. So, they're not in the practice of training their mind to think positive. So you can't just go on there and complain. Oh, your boyfriend broke up with you? Well, you can't just sit up there and cry. You got to spin it and win it. Turn your mess into a message.
Turn your mess into a message? What is this shit?
Okay. That was number 5. Show up every day. Be consistent. And in that, you don't own your social media, so you're not allowed to just go on and bitch. Okay? You're bringing people up.
You literally do own your social media, except
even through...
Forget it. You don't, because you signed your rights away, but still.
Number 6 is be personal. And so what I mean by this is if you are putting out images on your social media, like when Quarter Force launches, I really hope none of you take the image that Beachbody puts together and looks really pretty and put it on your social media, because that's not interesting. Not scroll stopping. I feel like those are pretty for coaches. Like Beachbody gives it to us, and makes us excited. Those are not then things that we should be sharing with other people. We need to make it personal. So what I plan to do when Quarter Force comes out is talk about how I have a new martial arts boot camp coming out, and I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to make video of myself doing it and working out.
You literally don't.
Share about the meal plan with it, and I'm going to share my experience with it. I'm going to make it personal, and I am not going to put a picture up of a challenge pack of Quarter Force and Shakeology, because all that is, people are sitting there on their phones.
Talk about suicidal ideation and miscarriages, but be positive all the time. Make it make sense. It literally doesn't make sense.
You want something that's eye-catching, that's personal, and stop their scroll. So I also no longer really put up just on Facebook at least, I don't put up memes or things that I find on Pinterest that are inspirational. I will put a picture of me up with maybe that as a quote on the image or in the text. I try to personalize everything as much as possible because at the end of the day, guys, we're not selling fitness programs. We're not selling Shakeology. We're not selling
You literally are.
anything that Beachbody sells. We are selling ourselves. If people want to get fit, there's a million ways they can do it. If people want to get fit using Beachbody stuff, there's a million ways they could do it. They can go on Amazon, they can go on eBay, they can borrow it from a friend, they can have a friend burn it from them, they can stream it, they can just go to beachbody.com and buy it. What you are selling is you, the ability to work with you. So you want to personalize as much of your content as you can. And I also am not a fan of I share very rarely from other pages. If I find content that's really good, I very, very, very rarely share it. And I pretty much never share it unless it's a video. If it's a recipe, I will take that recipe and I will post it myself and give that page credit, but I don't share it. Because
What an asshole.
To be a resource for
What
people.
an asshole.
So if I'm constantly sharing from other people, then I am not a go-to resource for anything because I am getting this from all the other resources that they can go get that content from. So sometimes I do share videos if they're doing really well and they have a million or more views, then I will share that because you can you get a little bit of that algorithm love from a video that's doing well. So I do share sometimes videos that are doing well, but I don't really share any other content to my page. I try to make it as original and personal as possible because I want people to believe in the value of me. I am the biggest value that comes with their purchase. Okay? That also helps build trust. So that's number 6, be personal.
Great.
Number 7, this is a goodie, you got to do the work. Okay? Let me say that again. You have to do the work. I think that a lot of times people think that this business is so much harder than it is, and it's because they're not actually working it. I had a coach message me the other day, Monday. Monday I made a post about how to make your Mondays not suck anymore. I did a live video, and I had a coach say, I'm one of those coaches, I'm a Beachbody coach too, but I'm one of those coaches this business doesn't work for. And my reply back was simply, this business might not work for you if you're not working it. And then I asked her,
What an asshole.
what shake flavor are you drinking? Like, what's your recipe? What workout are you doing? What day and what workout are you doing? What calendar are you following? When was the last time you posted about either of those? How many people have you connected with today? How many people have you reached out to today? What personal development are you reading, and how much are you committed to doing daily? Are you reading or listening to? She replied back with something like I work out every day. I'm not following a specific program, but I work out every day. My problem is I just can't find my niche. I can't get people to come to me. So I wrote back and said, you didn't answer any of my questions. Guys, none of this matters if you're not doing the 4 vital behaviors. It doesn't matter how good you are on social media if you're not doing the 4 vital behaviors. You have to pick a workout program and follow the calendar and complete it. You have to post about that. You need to be drinking your shake every day. You should be posting about your shake every couple times a week, at least. You need to be doing personal development and sharing that. And even if you're like sharing all the time,
Mondays don't suck anymore when you're retired.
If you're bitching and complaining and moaning on social media, it's very obvious you're not doing personal development, because personal development changes your brain so that you don't do that anymore.
Yeah, sharing generically, like, for example, sharing animal stuff and knowing that, I mean, it's complicated, but like at the very base, it's fine to reshare stuff. It's fine, like, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't necessarily help you. Sometimes it does, meaning that, let's say you post 3 stories every time you post stories, and they're safe for people. In terms of, let's say my audience never exits a story when there's Beachbody content, or I never share right off the cuff upsetting material. If we're watching upsetting material, it's probably going to be on a live on Instagram. Okay, so anything I do share, it's either initially like resharing a live, or it's a quick clip, or it's an animal video, or it's something like I'm resharing from Kira about Young Living, or like, I don't know. Like, I irritate the hell out of some people, but in general, if I'm going to be sharing like super upsetting information, we're probably going to be watching it inside of a live, so they know, like, people know they're not going to get surprised on stories, so they don't exit out, if that makes sense. And so that helps in knowing, like, every time I post the stories, it's going to be at least available for other people. So my watch rate is a little over half the number of my followers, which is decent. And I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I just know, like, do what makes you happy. Share what makes you happy. And don't manipulate the hell out of people.
And you live in a state of gratitude. It takes a lot of work, but I know from experience that it's possible. And you also need to be reaching out to people. You need to be starting conversations. Attraction media is a beautiful thing, or attraction marketing is a beautiful thing. What that means is that people come to you. And I do have a lot of that now, but it took years to build. In the beginning, I had to start a lot of conversations. I had to reach out to people. I had to message them. And this is kind of a little tangent-y, but that's what I'm known for on my team. But you have to do the work. And so I want you to look at, like, is this business not working for me, or am I not working it? Because I did the math the other day. My phone's here. I say you're supposed to be starting 3 conversations a day. Just 3 new hey girls. And those hey girls do not need to lead to Beachbody right away. They can just be starting conversations. I'm not talking about your follow-ups. I'm not talking about people that reach out to you. I'm not talking about your friend requests. I'm only talking about if you start 3 new conversations a day, you take the weekends off, so 3 times 20, because there's 4 weeks in a month with the weekends off, 60 people a month. 60 people a month that you're starting conversations with times 12 is 720 people a year, and you need to help 3 people a month, so 3 times 12 is 36 people. You are talking to 720 people a year if you're doing the work, and those are you sending messages out, not relying on people coming to you, and you only need 36 people to say yes to you. Like, do the math, guys. Work the numbers. This is a numbers game. So you have to do the work behind the scenes. You can have an amazing social media, but you still have to do the uncomfortable stuff and send them messages and reach out to people and connect and get uncomfortable. Like, comfort zones suck. There's nothing great that ever happens in comfort zones. Nothing.
Yeah,
Think about
safety
every bad
happens
thing
in
that's ever
comfort
happened
zones
in your life.
sometime.
When you met your husband, was it uncomfortable when you first went out on the first date? Yep. When you first met your best friend, did you go to a party and you were a little bit nervous about how the party went? Or there was some awkward stages in the beginning of that friendship as you were getting to know each other? Yep. What about when you got your job? Were you nervous when you went into your interview? What about when you had your kids? Were you nervous thinking, like, what kind of parent am I going to be? This is crazy. Like, every great thing that's ever happened to you happened outside of your comfort zone. So you have to do the work. You have to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, stop thinking about what people think of you, and just be you. Like, you are allowed to be you. We are not, there is nowhere in the Beachbody, like, requirements of a coach that says perfection. It just says that you have to be you. It is not our job to make everybody love Beachbody. It is not our job to be desperate for Success Club points. It is our job to put this in front of as many people as possible to live our best life and share with other people the tools that we use to help us do that so that we can inspire them to do the same. Okay. So I can answer your questions in a second, but I just wanted to, I don't know what the time check is here. Yeah, comfort zones are no fun zones, guys. Just like Leticia said. I'm trying to see. Okay, so I've been talking for 34 minutes. So I run towards, when I feel fear, I just get out. I'm attracted to it. It's magnetic. I want to do things that make me uncomfortable because I know that has made my life so much better. So social media can be tricky. It can be hard. You're very vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there. People are going to judge you. Haters are kind of cool. Like, I like haters. They boost engagement. A lot of times, if I get a hater and then I call them out, people are like, don't give that guy any airtime. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm boosting my engagement. You don't know that, but that's what I'm doing. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. So if things are bothering you and you are letting fear rule you right now because you're afraid of what people think, or you think that sending hey girl messages are uncomfortable, or it's a lot of work and it's hard.
Oh, shit.
Guys, it is hard. There's sacrifices that need to be made to be successful in this business.
Oh, boy.
That's it. There's sacrifices that need to be made. But I talked to my team about this last night on the team call. So I sacrificed some things for 2 years. A year and a half in, basically really working this business, I left my job. My husband was working on a contract. His contract ended at the end of last month. So we are home now on my one income. And we don't feel stressed about that. We feel great. And yesterday, the sun was out. So we decided to go play in the sun. We decided to go downtown, middle of the day. On the way down, some of you might have seen this post. On the way down, we got a flat tire on the highway. So my husband changed the tire. We went to Les Schwab. They said we needed 4 new ones. We bought 4 new ones like that, $600. Like, we need new tires. I remember years ago I needed new tires and I only got 2, and those went on a credit card because I couldn't buy all 4. I couldn't afford to buy all 4. So we bought 4 new tires for our car, and then we pedaled around all day, and I didn't do any work all day. And then I came home and I had a team call last night, and I got to work and like connect with my team. And I'll get a paycheck tomorrow, and I get to work with who I want, when I want, where I want. I don't have to stress about money. And so do you think that I think that those sacrifices were worth it? Do you think that I regret at all having to say, to not watch certain, like, okay, I really want to watch Game of Thrones, guys, because everyone says it's amazing, but I can't. That's a sacrifice I made. I know it seems silly, but like, my husband is obsessed with that show. All of our friends, when we get together, they talk about it. I'm like the only one who hasn't seen Game of Thrones, but I'm freaking building a business. I'm changing our life. So do I regret when people invite me, hey, you want to come out tonight? My calls are every Tuesday night. There's like this pizza night my friend keeps inviting us to, or there's this spin class that my friend spins at. And she's like, you know, come to my spinning class. I'll let you do it for free. Well, I have a team call every Tuesday night. Is it always convenient? No. Is the sacrifice worth it? Yes. So there are going to be sacrifices. And we're headed into the 4th quarter right now. This time of year is slower, just naturally. But the biggest obstacle is right between your own 2 ears. It's not impossible to grow and see growth in this business in this time of year, because I'll tell you what, I guarantee I will hit Success Club this month. Leticia will, Danielle will, Lori will, Kim will, Tanya will, Holly will, Rhonda will, Amanda, like the people that have decided I'm going to make this a non-negotiable to be successful in this business, and I'm going to do whatever sacrifices I have to do, like, they're not going to let those excuses get to them. And so there was a quote.
Hardly any of her followers are going to have her advantages or confidence.
I think it was Christine Dwyer maybe who said.
I mean,
maybe it was someone else. I can't remember.
I know she's grown. She has added some of the benefits. I know she had a very rough childhood growing up. I know Emily Favre did. I wouldn't ever even classify that as at least a starting out point of, I don't know, privilege. I think she's in a privileged position now. I don't think she started out that way.
But the team that got you to where you are now is not the team that is going to get you to where you want to be. So you're going to get cancellations this time of year. You're going to get a lot more no's. And that doesn't mean anything other than you just got to hustle harder. It doesn't mean that you're a crappy coach, or that you can't be successful, or that you can't help 3 people a month, or that it's impossible to hit Success Club, or that your team sucks. It doesn't mean any of those things unless you let it. So I just want you to own your mind this 4th quarter. I think the biggest battle we face right now is not that people are spending money, you know, on other people. It's gift giving season for other people. I don't think that's the biggest battle. I don't think the biggest battle is that people aren't worried about losing weight this time of year because the freaking mascot is like, is eating candy. Like, I don't think those are battles. I think the battle is in your head. Because I guarantee I'm going to grow my business in this 4th quarter. Because that's what I'm focused on.
She sounds like Jessie Lee.
That's the wavelength I'm operating on. I'm going to show up on social media. I'm going to do my program right now. I'm in week 8 of Insanity Max 30. I followed it. I check in every day on social media. I share my Shakeology a couple times a week, every day on Snapchat, but a couple times a week on my social media. I'm going to continue being a ray of sunshine and share positive light. And I'm going to fall off track. And I'm going to share that too. And maybe I'll regress and I'll gain some weight. And I'm going to share that too. But then I'm going to start quarter force. And I'm going to share that. And I'm going to get great results. I'm going to help people. And like, this business is about helping people. And so when you care what people think about you and you're afraid of looking dumb or what the haters might say or what your family might think or whatever, that's ego. That is you thinking about you. This business is about helping people. So think about, how can I serve others? How can I serve others today? How can I help share this gift that's been given to me with other people? Because guys, this is a gift. The fitness group and the coaching opportunity have completely changed my life. I was bouncing from diet to diet to diet, living in a body that I hated. We were living paycheck to paycheck with debt. I was putting everything on credit cards. I was living in a head that hated who I was. Not only did I hate my body, I hated who I was. I contemplated suicide before this
Apologies.
business, like daily.
Whoa. Okay. Again, I didn't realize. I thought this was going to be a social media training. And again, I guess I shouldn't give her any benefit of the doubt because I know I said she had a very rough childhood. She's not, she's also exploiting vulnerabilities for sales, for money. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever like share or be open or honest, however you want to be able to connect with people or know that you're not alone, because you're not alone. I'm specifically talking to her because she's using it as a sales technique to connect with people for the purposes of making money in my opinion, an unethical business model. So, your family are your primary customers. Best not annoy them. Midas had a gift too. You're right, Sky.
Not every day, but for 6 months, it was really, really bad. And we now are debt free. I feel so at peace with my body And I'm bigger now than I've been in a couple years because I really regressed this summer. And that's okay because I'm human. And we don't live paycheck to paycheck. We're not stressed about anything. I'm happier than I've ever been. My marriage is better. Like, life is better. So stop letting your ego get in the way. That's all I really feel like I need to say. So that was just like, I know that the fourth quarter's hard, guys, but it's only made harder by you talking to yourself like you can't be successful. So go freaking help people. Post on social media, make your stuff personal, make it connect with people, share your gremlins, be vulnerable, use your voice.
Do whatever.
And sell yourself. And
sell
the
yourself.
lifestyle that you're living or the dreams that you're dreaming, because people need you. And people that are watching you won't connect with anybody else. They need you. And so I don't want you to give up this time of year. We start getting a lot of coach cancellations, and that just sucks for those people that are canceling. It doesn't suck for you. It doesn't suck that if you get a cancellation and you lose your diamond or your emerald rank or, whatever. That doesn't suck for you. It's not about you. It's about them. It sucks for that person. But guess what we get to do? We get to go out and not waste any energy on that and go put this in front of more people and share with more people. It's a gift that we have. So don't overthink your social media. You've got to do the hard work. You've got to do the action behind it. You want to use your voice and be personal and all of those things. So again, I'll run through these real quick. Number 1 is you got to provide value to people. Number 2 is you need to be authentic and speak to your tribe. Number 3 is be vulnerable and shine the light on your gremlins. Number 4 is create engagement and give them call to actions. Number 5, show up every day. Consistency is key, and you don't own your social media. And number 6 is be personal. Oh, yeah. Okay, I said that. Be personal. So make eye-catching images that are you, and they're going to stop their scroll. Number 7, do the effing work. Put in the hard work. Because it doesn't matter. Who wants 100,000 followers with a business that doesn't do squat? Followers don't mean anything, guys. It's the followers you have that care. Build your tribe, not your following. Okay. Someone asked on here, where do I post? Do I post on my like page, Instagram, or my personal page? I don't think that this is a very common question, but I don't think there's a black and white answer to this. I think there's a lot of gray area because there's coaches that are successful doing it every way. So Danielle is 100% on her like page. She doesn't post anything on her personal page, and she uses Instagram. Leticia is very good about using Instagram, her like page, and her personal page, and it's like different content. Some of it's overlap, but she posts it at different time, but it's different content on all of them. One sec, sorry. I pretty much just use my like page and Instagram, but I want to get back to using my personal page. There are coaches that are successful using 100% their personal page. There are coaches that are successful using pretty much 100% Instagram. So I think that the answer to that is play around with it and find what works for you. I don't think that the answer is to post the same stuff on all three, your Instagram, your like page, and your personal page. I think if I was starting over, I would be using my personal page on Facebook and Instagram. And you can share the same content on those a little bit. You just play around and see what your audience reacts to on both. Like, I put the same stuff up on my Instagram as my like page, except for my like page gets more videos and my Instagram gets more memes because that's what does better on those platforms for me. But I don't put it on my like page and my personal page. There does need to be some variance. And I wouldn't put the same stuff on your like page as your personal page because that's still on Facebook.
This is way too much information she's sharing.
Platforms. So that's why I think on Instagram and your personal page, that's okay. Because there's going to be some overlap. There's going to be people that follow you on your Facebook account as well as Instagram. But there's also going to be a lot of people who are only on Instagram or only on Facebook. And if they see your stuff on both, that's okay too,
That's not, okay.
But if you're doing your like page and your personal page the same stuff, that's the same platform, so I don't think that works.
Okay.
But
there's some strategy, but this is... Can I just say this? Don't treat social media like a game show. I'll say this like this. Let's say you find a funny reel. And what's the first thing you do if you have someone in your family, who you like sharing stuff with or a friend, let's say you meet up for coffee. What's the first thing you want to do if you share funny stuff with each other? You say, oh my gosh, so-and-so. We'll take Lynn, for example. Oh my gosh, Lynn, this reel is so funny. Because we send cute animal videos back and forth. And I immediately show her the reel on my phone. I don't cover it up. I don't hide it. It's not making her jump through hoops because Lynn's my friend and I'm going to show her something funny because it's something we have in common. So if I find something funny, I'm not going to cover it up in my stories because it's not a game show. It's not a game. You're connecting with people. You know what? I normally don't like repeating content across platforms, but guess what? Some of my friends here on YouTube don't have other social media. So what's the solution? Not sticking to rules for the sake of sticking to rules, but saying, hey, are there people in my community I care about who want to be able to participate and they don't have Instagram? Hell yes. So we're just going to post it on YouTube. It matters in that you're connecting with people and you're not treating it like a game and you're not making people in your community jump through hoops for no freaking reason. Ugh.
Bottom line is there's no right answer to that, so you just play around and find what works for you. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions.
There's not.
Is there a method to coming up with good hashtags to get others to recognize your post? So what I do is sometimes when I've tried to find hashtags is I'll go to other people that I'm attracted to, their accounts, and
This
I
is
will
old
screenshot
content.
their hashtags,
You don't.
and then I will use some of those, whatever ones apply to me. Like if it's like tattooed mom, I don't use that because I don't have tattoos. So that's not my, I mean, I love them. So I guess I could attract them, but I don't have tattoos. So I put like beer snob is one of mine, like pit bull mom, dog lover, like whatever. So things that are about you. On Instagram, you can use 30, I think is still the formula or the rule that you can use 30 hashtags. But that's what I've done in the past when I don't know what to come up with. I don't use like Beachbody or Shakeology or, Core de Force. I don't do those because usually the people that are searching.
One, this is old information. The image sensors. I'm just gonna say sensors for descriptive purposes. The image sensors the amount of data that TikTok and Instagram and Facebook have. It goes well and above any hashtag. Okay, hashtags are meaningful in a very limited sense because guess what? The way that data is scanned on these social platforms, the machines, and I don't know, someone who's smarter than me is gonna be able to say this better. They know, like, when you post a video of a lamb, you don't have to say hashtag lamb or anything in the description for them to know that a video of a lamb was just posted. And there's fields and there's pleasant music. And so they know, oh my gosh, Kira likes videos of lambs, or Kira likes calming videos with pastures. She may like this video, even if Kira has never, doesn't click on the same hashtags. She doesn't even have to follow the same hashtags. It's limited if you're trying to do, if you're trying to find posts like, I got out for, cult survivors, or, hit the strip when Elamir was trying to overtake the, what is it called? It was hit the strip and something else. They co-opted another hashtag that was for something else entirely. And so this is old information. It's fine. Bye, Lynn. Oh, God. Guess who didn't think before she answered and is going to dinner with her department lead, her section lead, and her team member today. Good luck, Lynn. May the odds be ever in your favor. Play.
Those are other coaches or other Beachbody people. They're not new people that are discovering you that way. So I don't know if there's a total method to it, but that's what I do to find my hashtags. Jennifer, I don't think you should tag yourself in anything or in everything from your page to your personal page. I tag myself in stuff here and there, once, a couple times a month maybe. And I think tagging yourself from your like page is better than sharing it. But I actually meant people do post the same stuff on their like page as their personal page, and that's duplicate content on the same platform. Like they're both on Facebook, so I don't think that I don't think that's beneficial. So hopefully that clears up that question.
Good night, Melissa.
There are things that I want to say and or post
True but
that are
goats,
true
yes.
and authentic to me, but I'm afraid of how it will come across because I'm a teacher. I feel like I have a responsibility in that sense. Of course, my goal is to do this full time, but my income isn't there yet, so it's a struggle. I don't know exactly what that's like because I'm not a teacher, but I do have some teachers on my team who have that same issue. The only thing that I can say, I would maybe ask this to people like Leticia or Danielle, who used to be teachers when they started this business. Ask them this question and they'll probably have a better answer. But I can say that while I worked at Nike, I had people that I worked with there that followed me, and I did have to be a little bit careful of some of the things. Like I couldn't say, one day I'm gonna leave my job. Like I couldn't say that because they were following me. So I just, in this sense, I just talked about how much I loved Beachbody, not that I was ever, like I just talked up what I was doing and what I was dreaming about, and that I did look forward to all things Beachbody, but I didn't say anything bad about Nike. That doesn't really help you, I guess, if there's things that you want to talk about. But I don't know, I don't really know. I don't know how to answer that, because I kind of think, and I'm not a teacher, but I kind of think like, what could be the thing that you're afraid of? I mean, other than I have someone on my team who is just like me, and she's a teacher. I know she's on here, Autumn. Like she likes to drink, and she's afraid.
Yes.
If she talks about drinking, that like she's friends with some of the parents and stuff. I guess there are some things that maybe you aren't able to be as open about. I think you just play around with that and see where your comfort zone is. I think it's okay to let people know that you do drink and that you're human, but maybe not to the extent that you do or something like that. Like cheers to a Friday or out with friends, like whatever. But I just don't know if I'm the correct person to ask about those things. But if it's something that's been in your past, like how I battled depression, I feel like anyone could know that and that'd be okay. Things that are in your past, you know. Yes, if you like drinking and stuff. Okay. Autumn. So Autumn is who I was talking about. She says, I struggle with that as a teacher, and I just focus publicly on what I can say and use Snap to share a bit more because I control the audience better. Yes. Okay. Yeah, if you want to leave your job and you're working at a job now, I think there's lots of ways to talk about it without saying that, because I did that at Nike. And one of the things that Gary Vaynerchuk, this should be another piece of advice, guys. If you're not listening to Gary V, you need to do that and listen to him because he's amazing. But one of the things he said is, if I want to build the biggest house in town or biggest building in town, I'm going to build the biggest building in town because I have the biggest building, not because I'm tearing all the other buildings down around me. And I'm saying that to say that, like, if you want to leave your job, that's totally fine. You don't have to tear that job down to build this one up. That's all I did. When I was working at Nike full time and I was doing Beachbody, I just talked about how much I loved Beachbody, how amazing it was to, like, after a full day of work, come home and look forward to another meeting. You know, when you had team calls, or how amazing the community is, or how amazing it was to
Ashlie doesn't even do team calls anymore.
Autumn made a really
you know what I mean?
Post yesterday where she talked about how strong and powerful women used to intimidate her, and now she just loves surrounding herself with it because it helps her grow. There's lots of ways to talk about how amazing Beachbody is without saying how crappy your current job is. So, I want to make sure I get all these questions. Suzette, if you overpost, you need to stop and ask yourself, am I adding value with this post? I mean, I don't know what overposting means, but if you're posting things that are not adding value and they're boring, then stop and overpost over on Snapchat, because you can't really overpost on there, I don't think. But stop and ask yourself, like, is this worthy of a post? Is this providing value? Is this good content right now? Or is this just the Suzette show and no one really cares about it? And if it's great content, then you can't overpost. But if it's crappy content, it's just the Suzette show, then don't post. You know, just stop posting. Okay, I think that's all the questions. hopping on
This is
and
awful.
spending some time with me. I hope this was valuable, and I hope you learned a couple things, but I most of all hope that you go put things into action, because learning doesn't do jack squat for you. It's action that is gonna make your business grow. So I hope that you are inspired to go hustle your little faces off and make the fourth quarter the best quarter. Okay. Love you guys.
This is
Bye.
awful. I hate it here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would be very interested in how she got her cool job at Nike, for sure. This needs to be bigger. Sorry. It needs to be down here. Gah. If you don't know what overposting means, then you're definitely overposting. And again, it's like, you know what? If you're trying to connect with people like in a genuine way, and you're looking to do that in posts and you're not able, like, sometimes it's for accountability and you want to create a timeline of an activity or whatever that is, and you're doing it for you, and it doesn't matter in the least if someone is liking it. But if you're trying to like build a community, or I don't know, like work towards something like tearing down Beachbody or tearing down Young Living or whatever. I don't know what the positive thing is. Or talking about positive, I don't know. I don't remember what it's like to talk about positive shit. There's someone I follow, it's called Keep a Book Out, and it's talking about encouraging and growing the love of reading in your home. And she talks about inclusive books and books for all ranges, and she gives recommendations, and she talks about how to navigate the library, and talks about rotating books seasonally, and talks about how to encourage interest and not shaming kids if they like reading comic books. Like, that's reading too. And like, you're gonna find lots of people for that category. You're gonna find creative people who like your cool reels you make, and you're gonna find probably parents looking for great book recommendations. And it's always gonna be new because there's always books coming out, and there's lots of authors out there who want to partner up with a trusted voice in the community who's able to articulate and give incredible recommendations for books. Like, she's your girl. And there's all different kinds of ways to like find your niche and figure out how to like connect with people, or I don't know. And yeah, connecting with people is freaking hard. It's freaking hard. Where did my top go? I need to let this dry because we're curling again. Ooh. I'll just leave it right there. Yeah. If you guys haven't tried Klondike cones yet, they are a must try. I'm eating a cookies and cream one right now. That sounds incredible. Where? I found it. And I don't know. That's when I guess hashtags would come in handy if you're trying to find, if you're interested in rock climbing, you probably can find some. If you could search rock climbing on Instagram or on TikTok. I'm not as big of a fan. I love TikTok, but I don't love I don't love it as much. You can find reels and stuff about rock climbing, and that's already going to speak to the algorithm that you're looking for videos on rock climbing. And it's going to take a while to figure out what kinds of videos of rock climbing you're going to be interested in. And then you can start finding some accounts you like and engaging and plugging into the community there of other people who like rock climbing or whatever it is. Or, I don't know. Oh, thanks, Heather. We need to layer it. It's a work in progress. I'm figuring out how to freaking paint. So like, are we gonna focus? We're not. It's a little wet. I'm trying to add some depth. This is not watercolor paper. So it's just a work in progress. It's definitely a work in progress. And then once I'm done with the colors, I'm gonna go back with a pen. And I'm going to, like, bring some of the lines back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just showing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to bring the lines back out. But it's not going to be that bad. I know it's not awful right now, but it's... XCal and my sister Sarah are incredible artists, and like I'm just computer graphics, and I half-ass it a lot of times, and so it's just self-conscious, but it's just fun, like relaxing to paint, and then to feel like not trashed after you react like to a video because like you did something fun and you got a little further along in the painting. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a smaller pen, but yes, I'm gonna do the detail work, and then like, but I'm gonna, this isn't done, it was just an example, it was just showing an example, so. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep, because I need to sleep some, or we may take a break from a crafting stream tomorrow, because Dreamlight Valley. Thanks for the support, thanks for watching that with me. I'm gonna intersperse some of these crafting streams with like, we're gonna do painting sometimes, we're gonna do sewing, we're gonna do crocheting. So if you like to do MLM stuff and also want to do more crafting, maybe we can do this together. So hope you'll have a good rest of your night, and I will catch you on the next live stream. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.